I mean, I have a name of being very difficult. I'm not difficult at all. I just cannot take mediocrity. I just cannot take it on any level.
He was a genius. He was able to do that thing of making something funny, but not caricatured, that sort of explosion of talent.
Peter and I met at a first night party. Peter was in a break of about a week while he was making Dr. Strangelove. And so we had a couple of really nice dates before he went back to filming.
Mr. President, I would not rule out the chance to preserve a nucleus of human specimens. It would be quite easy. At the bottom of some of our deeper mine shafts.
When he did Dr. Strangelove, he started off with great enthusiasm because, after all, it was being directed by Stanley Kubrick, who I would think of all the directors he was very admiring of.
He was very stressed, and as a matter of fact, he cried a couple of evenings when he came round for dinner. It was very difficult for him. I don't know if he was having trouble with Stanley Kubrick or whether it was just the stress of playing so many parts.
Sellers played the British RAF officer and the president. He also played Dr. Strangelove, and he was supposed to play the character that was later on taken on by Slim Pickens. Stories vary as to why he didn't play this character.
He'd got bored by then anyway, or that's what he said. And in fact, he did actually come back with a broken bone in his ankle, and we think that that was probably a put-up job.
Kubrick would just set up loads of cameras on Sellers and just let him improvise. So that marvelous speech in Dr. Strangelove with the American president on the phone talking to the Russian president as nuclear annihilation approaches, that Sellers was able just to come up with that.
One of our base commanders, he had a sort of, well, he went a little funny in the head. You know, just a little funny. And he went and did a silly thing. Well, I'll tell you what he did. He ordered his planes to attack your country. Well, let me finish, Dmitri.
He would simply refuse to do it more than the once. And also Kubrick realized that the comic energy would evaporate and that the more takes you did, Sellers became increasingly deadened. So he'd realized that you just, in a way, did it in one big block and then edit it later. Sellers wasn't someone who could repeat a scene the same. He wasn't a technician like that. It was all instinctive.
Kubrick managed to contain and focus his talent, which he himself was not particularly good at. But Kubrick managed to harness it in a really effective, worthwhile way.
We had an idea about how Dr. Strangelove himself should appear. And Stanley said, what about the idea that his hand had been injured in some terrible nuclear fallout experiment? So then we put this black glove on, and then suddenly from the black glove we got the idea that half of him was Nazi and half was American, you see, and suddenly this hand started to go up. Well, this came out of just talking and throwing ideas at each other. This part is fine. I enjoy this. I enjoy working with a creative director who can sling ideas to you and you can sling them back, and out of it comes something good.
Kubrick liked working with Sellers enormously because Sellers had a way of becoming a character. He'd do more than just take on the part. He would become that character, and he would enter what Kubrick called a state of comic ecstasy.
I have a plan. Monsieur! I can walk!
How did you come to propose?
We proposed over the phone, really, didn't we?
Well, yes.
Ever the long-distance fan, you know?
Would you say it was a strange love, Doctor?
We propose via Telstar. No, actually, you know, that it's very nice, you know, to have this proposal in this way, and we are very glad. We are going down the mine shaft later for our honeymoon, you know, where we hope to breed prodigiously. Yes.
In which case...
We'll meet again. Don't go away.